अरे चलो फोन से लग जाने की बोल दो ना कौन हेलो 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 sir am I audible hello
Hello, sir.
Okay. I deem it a great honor to participate in today's function. This being a seminar which is specialized on okay, all fine. On the culture, heritage, and nation building, organized by the University of Madras, the Department of Anthropology, and the Vanamaa Art Education and Cultural Trust, Tinagar. I would like to thank for the invitation, for kindly inviting me to be one among the guests of honor for the day. And I've had the opportunity to listen to an amazing inaugural address by none other than the Registrar of the University of Madras, Professor S. Elumalai, and a wonderful presidential address by Dr. M.P. Damodaran, International Summit Director and Convener. And thankful to Professor Damodaran and Professor Prabhu Kumari Vanamaa for inviting me today to be amidst you all to listen to the wonderful lectures with the young anthropologists, promising anthropologists of tomorrow from the University of Madras. I was wondering why a physician and a humble musician is being invited today to this summit, a two-day international blended mode summit on culture, heritage, and national building. But I found that there are so many similarities of interlinking with culture, heritage, and national building, because all three are you done?
Yes.
All three are intermingled, and one is enhanced with the other. There is no difference between each and every aspect of what we are going to discuss. All three are intermingling and enhancing. One enhances the other. The more you concentrate on culture, the more your heritage gets embellished. And the more your heritage gets embellished, the nation to which you belong gets to its own greatest heights as possible. Likewise, a well-built nation has a background of a very good heritage in it. And where there is a good heritage, you can see the people in it having a strong cultural basis. We in India should be proud of our motherland. In the year, as Professor Damodaran, Dr. M.P. Damodaran mentioned, we should be proud that our own cultural activity, our cultural behavior has brought us the freedom. It's not nothing else. When compared to the international fora, India is the only country which is based on its own culture. It is brought up, it has had its progress through its culture, and the culture alone brought its freedom. We have a basic culture of patience, perseverance, and it is our own satyagraha, and we got our independence through. And why is Mahatma Gandhi praised the Lord? Because of his own culture of satyagraha and fighting without a war. That is which was mentioned by poet Ramalingam, Namakal Ramalingam Pillai, as Kattiyindri, Rathamindri, Yuddham ஒன்று வருகிறது. The battle of freedom fought without a sword or knife. So we are incorporated in a society with our rich cultural heritage, be it music, be it any form of art, be it sculpture, be it art, be it music, be it history, or anthropology. Anthropology is far more important because we have heard about our kings, ancient kings, who made history, whose history we read, we mug up, and we write our exams to get through a degree. But those historians came from the local masses, the simple masses about whom we don't read. Probably we can know about more of the masses, the simple folks who lived under those kings through the excavations like Kiradi, which is being done now. It is very important to understand the way of life of the common people as we understand the way of life the kings ruled those days. Our emperors, our ancient people who lived in our country have brought us to this level with the rich cultural heritage, our own cultural heritage, our own Indian specificity. We have our own identity in the world, and there's no other country which is rich in culture, which is based on culture like our India, about which we have to be proud of. And I need an applause from you all at this point. Hope you got my point right. India is the only country in the world we can be proud of to cherish as the country which is totally has its own culture, is totally culturally based without a bias. We should be proud to be an Indian because we belong to a rich cultural heritage, and whatever we are today are based on whatever cultural embellishments our people had earlier. They transmitted the culture through our ancestors, and what we are today is what they lived earlier and what they showed us earlier. The food habits, as very wisely expressed by Dr. S. Elumalai, the registrar, and the other forms of national building aspects, as expressed by Dr. Damodaran, are very notable through the importance of anthropology. I may be a person out of this anthropology in its actual form, but we in the field of medicine deal with history taking, which is very important. A proper history taking from a patient gives the diagnosis immediately. Half of the successful physicians and surgeons, they express this point. They say that when a patient walks in, take a detailed history. The history of his ailment gives you the diagnosis and not only treats the patient, it also gives you a good name as a good physician or a surgeon. Likewise, if you take the history of music, the first human language documented to be the first language of the universe is Tamil. The first music which is documented is also Tamil. The first language, spoken language is Tamil. So the language which was sung first also should be Tamil. The importance of documentation, the importance of publication in the field of medicine and other fields are important in such a way. It makes us think that whenever we concentrate upon historical implementation, historical imprints, we go through the publications. Publications, now we have our journals to publish. We have our respected Mr. Muthukumar here. One sensible journal in the mediator which gives importance to fine arts, science, etc. is none other than Trinity Mirror and Makkal Kurul. You must applaud for this because there are umpteen number of magazines and journals and newspapers coming out with wrong information. The right information creates history. And I'm very happy that my dear friend Mr. Muthukumar is here to give you the right information and to carry on the right information to the world. I'm one way connected with Dr. Prabhu Kumari Vanamaa today because our lineage is also musical. History talks about lineage also. Her mother, Jnana Prasanna, is a singer, playback singer, and I also belong to a family of a Carnatic musician and a playback singer. Not only that, it's very important to carry on the tradition, and the tradition is cherished by following the footsteps. We followed the footsteps of elders. We followed the culture of the elders. We followed the heritage, rich cultural heritage, and now we are here. Apart from the history, we learned from the kings. I would like to stress upon the importance of anthropologists concentrating upon the day to day. We excavate so many things from Kiradi and till many more places to prove our rich heritage and cultural remains. It is important to concentrate upon who used that and what was the utility, how the common man gave an importance to the living in those days. That is more important when we consider the facts of so many excavations going in and around the world. A nation without culture, without a cultural behavior, be it in behavior or be it in artistic development in any form of art, is not considered a nation of importance. We have to imprint our culture in each and every aspect, and the world is seeing that history and anthropology is important because everyone wants to make a history and everyone tries to make a history. The remnants of Rajaraja Solan found as imprinted culverts or imprints, which are all forms of publishing those days. The cultural aspects, the temples which they built, the artistic endeavors, the music and the Tevarams, the hymns which they promoted, they are all the historical remnants which we have here, which we cherish today. We sing a Tevaram, we sing a Tiruvasagam, we go to the language, we know the ancients. Likewise, Silappadigaram, which came out in the 4th century, proved the musical, artistic, the way of life, the way a king has to live, the way a common man has to live, the way a musician has to dance, the dimensions of the stage, the artistic instruments which were used in the 4th century. It was documented as the Tamil literature, which keeps us proud. That is where the importance of history making and history taking plays an important role. I'm very happy to have participated in today's event, and I don't want to take much of your time because we have a special address by Dr. Saji Baby, Chief Sustainability Consultant and Advisor, GEO International from Kuwait. We are here to listen to the proceedings, to learn a lot, but my request to budding anthropologists, the promising brilliant stars whom I right in front of me, to the scholars right in front of me, it is more important to publish whatever, because whatever monuments, whatever stones we imprint, whatever publications we do today, it is going to be history for tomorrow. can't say tomorrow's students will be learning your name in the history also. So I wish everyone all the best. I wish you all a great future and have a bright, brilliant future. Thank you very much. As requested by Dr. M.P. Damodaran and Dr. Prabhu Kumari Vanamaa, I hail from a musical family with a history, and I want to sing a song of Bharatidasan. Can I? I want the loudest. Okay. This song is about education, which is written by Bharatidasan. He quotes Auvayar, the oldest lady who spoke about the morality, the moral, how people have to live. Because culture is based on the way the morality is the basic issue. And though we are infiltrated by foreign invasion, not only physical invasion, economic invasion, there are so many cultural invasions also going on in the form of music, in the form of IT culture living and so on. You know better than what we know about that. So this song, which is based on the importance of education, is specially meant and sung for you all, not only for your listening pleasure, but also for your following pleasure. கல்வியின் மிக்கதாம் செல்வம் ஒன்றில்லையே கண்மணி கேளடா நீ என்ற சொல்லையே கல்வியின் மிக்கதாம் செல்வம் ஒன்றில்லையே கண்மணி கேளடா நீ என்ற சொல்லையே செல்வம் பிறர்க்கு நாம் தந்திடில் தீர்ந்திடும் கல்வி தருந்தோறும் மிக சேர்ந்திடும் கல்வியின் மிக்கதாம் செல்வம் ஒன்றில்லையே கல்வியுள்ளவரே கண்ணுள்ளார் எனலாம் கல்வி இல்லாவர் கண் புண் என்றே பண்ணலாம் கல்வி மிகுந்திடில் கழிந்திடும் மடமை கற்பதுவே உன் முதற்கடமை கற்பதுவே உன் முன்மிக்கதாம் செல்வம் ஒன்றில்லையே இளமையில் கல் என இசைக்கும் ஔவையார் இன்பக் கருத்தை நீ சிந்திப்பாய் செவ்வையாய் இளமை கழிந்திடில் ஏறுமோ கல்விதான் இப்பொழுதே உன் இனித்திடும் தேன் இப்பொழுதே உன் இனித்திடும் தேன் கல்வியின் மிக்கதாம் செல்வம் ஒன்றில்லையே கண்மணி கேளடா நீ என்ற சொல்லையே செல்வம் பிறர்க்கு நாம் தந்திடில் தீர்ந்திடும் கல்வி தருந்தோறும் மிக சேர்ந்திடும் கல்வியின் மிக்கதாம் செல்வம் ஒன்றில்லையே no better wealth than education. Though I come from a fraternity which says health is wealth. அப்படி சொல்லுவாங்க. But the real wealth is your educational wealth. Bhavendra Bharatidasan puts it that the real wealth is your education, and that too education in your prime age when you are young. Old men, even they can learn. There are opportunities now rising up. Even I did my PhD in the verge of my retirement at 58. There is no limitation for your education, but it is very important that you learn in your appropriate age when you're young. That is the implication which is mentioned in the song with a quote from Avayar. Vanakkam, Nandri. Folk song கேட்கிறாரு. This again is a historical song. This is a Temmangu song which came out in a Malayalam movie. It was sung by me under the music direction of the great maestro G. Devarajan master. This song is basically about Temmanganale. It's a folk tradition. It's a Malayalam film. The name of the movie is Chidambaram, and the song was sung by Shiva Chidambaram. It's an award-winning film. Yeah, Adur Gopalakrishna's movie. Aravindan, exactly. Oh, yes, sorry. I'll correct it. ஆத்தில போகும் தண்ணி அட்ட சத்தம் மிதக்கும் தண்ணி நீ குடிக்கும் வந்த தண்ணிய தங்க ரத்தினமே நான் குடிச்சாலாகாதோடி பொண்ணு ரத்தினமே ஆத்தில போகும் தண்ணி அட்ட சத்தம் மிதக்கும் தண்ணி நீ குடிக்கும் வந்த தண்ணிய தங்க ரத்தினமே நான் குடிச்சாலாகாதோடி பொண்ணு ரத்தினமே ஏ தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே தானே தன்னானே ஏ தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே வெள்ளக்கல்லு கம்மல் போட்டு பேடி கையா வந்த பொண்ணு உன்னை யாரு கொண்டு வந்தது தங்க ரத்தினமே உமேல பிரியம் வச்ச பொண்ணு ரத்தினமே ஓ மேல பிரியம் வச்ச பொண்ணு ரத்தினமே ஏ தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே ஆத்திக்கு அந்த பக்கம் ஆயிரம் புவி இருக்கும் பின்னலு மோதிரமே தங்க ரத்தினமே ஓ மேல பிரியம் வச்ச பொண்ணு ரத்தினமே ஓ மேல பிரியம் வச்ச பொண்ணு ரத்தினமே ஏ தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தன்னா நானே தானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே தானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே தானே நன்னானே. This is the folk song which I read earlier. All our folk songs have a historical background, and I request some more research feedback from you people whenever you go out on your expeditions. If you get any imprints about that, please do contribute to our musical society also. Thank you very much.
Online online
So please receive the number one shot. I request the audience to give a handful of applause.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable thoughts and your beautiful song. Next, I welcome Dr. Shaji Bedi, Principal Scientist and Sustainability Advisor at GEO International Kuwait. He has completed his MTech and PhD and also a certified chartered engineer. He has given around 70 lectures in 28 countries. He is the principal investigator in more than 120 projects. He is also published 2 books and also conferred with Bharat Jyoti Award and also Scientist Award given by the Pondicherry CM. I warmly welcome Dr. Shaji Baby to deliver the special address.
I can see.
A small announcement. During the afternoon, we'll be having the competitions. So there will be 3 competitions that will be conducted. Golden or Rangoli, and then we have a craft competition, and then there is a painting competition that will be conducted in the afternoon. After Sir's seminar, we'll be having a very short break, and then the seminars, the paper presentations will start. Thank you.
Audio motor.
Those who haven't registered yet, kindly register now. And after the session, and then there will be participation certificate also provided.
Shall we start? How are you all? Fine. Okay. This topic is very new, very new, and it's very much different from previous speakers, but it's well connected to this also. So while we are going with each paragraphs and slides, you will be finding most probably you will be finding interesting. So we humans were in pandemic mode for 2 years. As never before, we were grounded for months, and it has affected all of us in our way or the other. Now we are relating. Did we expect the 21 days lockdown will geometrically progress into years and years? Think or hurt are heavy thinking of those whom we lost to COVID-19 and whose lives and livelihoods are devastated and disturbed across the world. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused a massive shift in the way of life, somewhat or culture, to this uncertainty and fear, which is hanging over. Like, how do we work? How do we study and learn? How do we socialize? How do we travel? How do we belong? Think about that. Doesn't it change a little bit our culture? The way of practicing, which we have inherited from our forefathers, it was changing. And we learned a lot of lessons. And this pandemic has tailored us differently, have taught us our priorities, perspectives about life and the world and the environment. The news about the heavy rains and storms of Chennai. We still remember the last 2 years. Drought burst and floods in Kerala, heat waves and droughts of western India, cyclones of Orissa, Bengal, blistering cold of northern hemisphere, brings winter to our water. Life-threatening weather conditions in 2020, 2021, 2022 crushed records around the globe. Climate change impacts are cosmic and terrible. Many of these events are intensified by climate change. So, dear friends, what is happening to our world? So, what do you think? So, what do you think? The season, spring, summer, monsoon, autumn, winter follows one another. Each season has its brightness, temperature, systematic different flowers, fruits, vegetables, healing blessings, signature repeated every year. We wait for it. So we are learning about culture, we are learning about heritage, and we are always thinking about heritage as an anthropology. Is it the natural also an heritage? The season also belongs to an heritage. We are following and repeating the seasonally stated. That means the seasonal heritage is huge. So we have natural heritage. The ecosystem is a natural heritage. And some of the wild animals that belong to a certain geographical location is also a heritage. So all these are getting disturbed. From Shakespeare and Wordsworth to Sarojini Naidu and Billy Collins, poets have always been inspired by season. I doubt future generation would be able to write about season so intense because future generation will not be seeing that because all season looks like spring. And even the farmers are not able to predict the season when to sow, when to reap. So the culture, the heritage of season is to get lost. So the real season would disappear by that time and could only be found treasured in old stories and poems and songs. So I would rather look new as all in one. Sorry. New all in one season. Capricious come calamity. So this word I just coined. Why capricious? Come calamity. The word capricious means something sudden, unaccountable, unpredictable. Isn't it? For season? We are confused with the climate. All of a sudden, it may be heat waves, all of a sudden it will be a cold waves. Or maybe it is thunderstorm. So season is unpredictable and it is becoming late. So greetings to all. My gratitude goes to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Gauri, and distinguished guest of honor, Dr. and Padma Shri Dr. Sirkalji. I am very much honored to be present with you, and it is a blessing for me also to be a part of your, being a part of you. And also my gratefulness goes to our registrar who gave a very good lecture also, and his about the tradition, culture was very important, and Dr. S. Illuminati. So I am very much humbly give my thankfulness to him, and my gratefulness also goes to Dr. M.P. Damodharan, Dr. Prabhu Kumari Vanamaa for having me here, and thank you, and my gratitude to all dignitaries present here, educators, students, delegates, and researchers. So I will take a little bit time. I think it will not be boring, and you will be learning a lot of things from here. And the thing what I wanted to know in the lecture is just listen the lecture and just go home. It's not my policy. Students, the people should carry something and should practice. And if you see the anthropology, history, the subject is not getting importance in India. The new universities are opening, but the department is not. Anthropology and history. So it is also becoming a heritage. So these subjects have to be survived. So you have to push them. And equally all subjects, for example, the engineering and medical subjects, or technology, computer, all subjects should have the equal importance. There should not be any bias or any limits among the subjects. Anthropology is important, archaeology is important, history is important. The students passing out from here, they should take their head with their subject. So one suggestion I will tell you, when you are writing a research paper, don't write too much research papers. Only write 4 or 5 research papers. That should be golden. The discoverers, the inventors, they don't write too much papers. But in universities, we want 100 papers because we want promotion. And also try to write paper in good journals and be a genuine research. So, my topic here is low carbon and climate change. So what is resilience mean? Is the ability and capability to withstand, recover, and bounce back from climate adversity. So will it happen? Will we bounce back? So remember, resilience is not a trampoline where it is going to rebound each time you fall. You see, that little girl is bouncing back. But whenever we have some climate change, we think, oh, we will start bouncing back. No, I don't think it will happen. No, it's because of climate change. Or the other pictures you see, it's a mountaineer climbing a mountain, cracking all encounters. So now, in the period of climate change, we are just like a mountain. We are passing through so many hurdles, obstacles, and problems. But the thing is that we have to adapt. We cannot stop very easily climate change because of actions of previous days. So now this requires an absolute understanding of global warming, which I will mention in some of the slides. The history of Earth's climate, that is age, the history and importance of ecosystem, the need to protect nature and cultural heritage. So if the climate is changing, so what will happen to our heritage and culture? It is a point of change. It is a point which we need to change. We need to have strong determination, dynamic action that are straightforward and possible. Of course, independent impediments are there along the way, but eventually there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So we have to reach the tunnel where the light is there. So we have a hope if we take a precautionary measures to tackle the problem. This is a beautiful song.
So it was pouring from the skies, not to see the city and the rise. I was running for the moment, there's no job. This man's crowd was speech became.
These are what heritage. We could see the pathetic situation about climate change. I'm not able to see the future. We have to put this one. The next slide. Next. Next. So we are going with tourism and globe trotting. So what does globe trotting mean? The person who is very much passionate and always love is just like a profession. So globe trotting. So people have traveled to far off places like Hong Kong, Singapore, Venice, Florence, and some people. So the important thing is you should travel. You should see the place, you should see the answer, and you should know the history. The irony is that most of the people from both groups who have not traveled and who have traveled long distances, like Paris, Pittsburgh, Hong Kong, Bali, etc. The thing is they haven't seen Agra, Bodhgaya, Mysore, Bijapur, or Mahabalipuram. You stay here, but you have not visited the local places or nearby places. And we are turning to the heart of it. So visiting our neighbors can see a lot of things happening in our life, which one way creates knowledge and help us to preserve our local culture and heritage. So tourism accounts about 20% of the GDP of several countries. The tourism industry is an economic power. At the same time, the tourism is also causing damage to the earth because of climate change. Because of tourism. So in 1950, 25 million were international travel, and in 2019 it was 1.4 billion. The global tourism industry is rapidly expanding at a rate of 3 to 5%. So what does it mean? It is adding to the GDP. At the same time, it is adding to the solid waste, especially the plastic. And plastic related pollution and all the problems in the environment we know about it. For example, even the plastics, we have seen it is very toxic in nature. The microplastics, the nanoplastics, which are small in particles, they enter the human body, and this is causing a lot of disease. So you could see here, we live in a wonderful world that is full of beauty, charm, and adventure. There is no end to the adventures that we can have if only we see them. And this was told by Jawaharlal Nehru. Next. The world is a book, and those who do not travel need only one page. If you travel, you gather a lot of knowledge, a lot of important information. And this was told by Saint Augustine. So travel cultivates tolerance, humility, acceptance, and compassion. The world belongs to all humans, animals, and plants. So these are some of the words which I have got. What I learned by traveling all around the world. Around 28 countries I traveled. So I learned this. So the very same industry, tourism, what goes around comes back. Means it is telling about the solid waste. We should not hesitate to say absolute fact that the tourism is likewise one of the largest contributors of the changing climate. So in many ways, it is a cycle. As you give, it shall be given. But tourism is one of the largest emitter of greenhouse gases, directly or indirectly, and is one of the chief perpetrators of global warming. So this graph tells about the industries, how the global economic contribution of around 7.6 trillion is revolved around tourism. And this tells about trends towards more sustainable tourism, rapid expansion of tourism sector. You can see this graph how the total contribution of travel tourism of gross GDP of world from 2006 to 2020, how it is increasing. You can see how it is increasing. So, ladies and gentlemen, on June 2020, the temperature in Russia, town of Verkhovsky, reached 40.20 degrees Celsius. That is 100.4 degree Fahrenheit. And it remained for prolonged, and the Siberian heat wave and increased the wildfire activity, which was never seen. 38 degrees centigrade was a new record for north of Arctic region, igniting fires. And you can see all these archaeological places of importance of tourism, which was affected by climate change. It was observed rapid loss of ice cover in Alaska. Rain at the summit of Greenland. Greenland had rain. You will be astonished, never thought before. And the significant transforming of biomes when the climate is changing, the life, the wildlife is getting changed. So the culture, the heritage is getting changed. Even the culture of the day is dependent on the vegetation, the agriculture, land. So at the opposite end of the world, in Antarctica, the WMO recorded a new record of 18.4 degrees centigrade in February 2020. Never expected. In 2021, Kerala in India recorded the highest annual rainfall of 3.23 mm in 60 years. So what is happening? In the month of October, the highest in 103 mm. So friends, more people starved, fear of wildfire, engulfing historical buildings and monuments, leaving all of them in ashes and producing more carbon dioxide. So our monuments, historical structures are getting destroyed. This year was the rainiest. More people and homes were washed up. The oldest homes were washed up. This year was a part of global battle against the wolves, locust, plague. The insects flew and it started invading many places. For example, the locusts came from the African countries and it entered the Madras. And it was a heavy loss for the agriculture. Isn't it a clear symptom of alien planets or of planetary disease? is becoming handicapped. Why? Because of our action. Our action is not sustained. So, ladies and gentlemen, these sounds of silence, it is resonating. The planet is telling something to us, which is clear. Earth is changing before our eyes. From Indian Ocean to the top of Himalayas, from melting glaciers of Arctic, Antarctic, and highs of Amazon. If you think that nature will recover of its own, that it will bounce back just like a trumpet, then friends, you are on the wrong side. You have to think wisely. We are becoming victims of climate change. Climate change is real and man-made. When I'm saying that, even the geographical cosmetic factor is also playing a role. But the main role is played by man-made technology. There are irresistible consensus, researchers and data which prove climate change caused by human beings is drastically changing and leading us to a disastrous situation. Science is a technique of truth telling. So in the anthropology also, you have to apply the science, the logic to study while you are doing some research. Earth climate is warming. We know, we feel, we experience, and we see all the detrimental effect of global warming on us and ourselves. So what does the world intimate to us? Dear friends, stop burning, stop drilling, stop cutting trees, stop exploiting, stop overuse of resources. By doing this, we are building lethal gas chamber and digging all things. So 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature means it is very difficult for us to survive. More diseases. We cannot cope with the environment. We cannot cope with the society. Our culture gets dismantled. We will be having a heavy time to balance the culture. 2 degrees Celsius in a judgment for people like Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica and Fiji. The people will start get abolished because the land will get destroyed. 3 degrees Celsius means lot of wildfire and lot of destroyment of wildlife. So when the wildlife is gone means when they are extinct means the forest culture, the forest heritage is being destroyed. 4 degrees Celsius means goodbye to Miami, some of the places of Chennai, some of the places of Cochin, etc. Rising the temperature of Earth is entirely, do you believe it is a man-made or natural? Without? Perfect. So we are pumping lot of carbon into atmosphere, and this carbon is a variant which causes the temperature change, the global climate change. And scientific evidences have proved that CO2 in the atmosphere in 2020 was 402 parts per million, and it has increased 50% from 1760 or 1830 from the Industrial Revolution. So our Industrial Revolution was not sustained, well planned, but it was that time we needed it for industrial. So the greenhouse gas impact. So these are some of the gases: carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane. Just remember, these all things cause the climate change. So these are the chemicals, hydrocarbon, which we find in refrigerator and some of the perfumes, but now they are replaced with new chemicals, and these are all cause of climate change. So this is an Earth, this is an atmosphere. You can see sun, then respective location. Next, you can see some of the heat enters the atmosphere. Next, okay, next. So heat is sun is absorbed. A simple science which we studied in the school days. some heat gets reflected back. So what should happen is reflected heat? It should go away. Huh? But when the CO2 is built in the upper atmosphere, and CO2 captures the heat. So it does not allow. So the more CO2 is there means more heat will be captured. And it will come back again to the earth. And because of that, the climate will change, the temperature will raise. So once the temperature will raise, so what will happen? The northern hemisphere, the glaciers and everything will start melting and the sea level will be rising. And the tropical temperature, subtropical temperature where we are staying, what will happen? It will also rise more than that. So what will happen? We will start migrating towards, more people will be jobless. So what will happen to our heritage? We will leave behind our heritage. Have you thought about that? We were talking about a lot of things about anthropology and heritage. So you are conserving everything heritage. But once the climate change happens, you will leave behind everything and you will move out to the northern hemisphere. But northern hemisphere will not be safe also because the temperature is increasing. Even the mosquito will migrate and it will cause malaria. Because mosquitoes and many of the tropical diseases are in between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So you can see global monthly mean temperature. You can see. These are all videos, it will take time, so I'm just moving on. So ladies and gentlemen, carbon footprint. What is the footprint? When you are walking in the beach, you are leaving your steps. So when you are using bad substances, bad products, you are leaving the car. And that is also negative. You are leaving carbon, which destroys the climate and is a heritage. So do you want that evil heritage to be there? So let's do something positive. So these are some of the statistics which you may not be interested right now. Yeah. Okay, you see the base left by tourists on mountains and banks. So all these creates CO2. So we should be aware of that. Next. This how you see that waste. The ecosystem is getting lost. And these are some of the great walls of China. Risk of tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the risk now. Next. You could see what is happening to ladies. The place where you go for food and you wanted to see the heritage, monuments, archaeological buildings. Not easy. People are trapped in the brush. You can see. Next. You can see why fire of Chernobyl. This was lost because of heat. And many of the heritage is destroyed. Next. And you can see the traditional urban buildings, such as mosque. This I think is in Indonesia or something. So the color is green. The sandstones are getting, and Taj Mahal, the color is getting this color. Do you know why? Why Taj Mahal is getting this color? Pollution, because mainly because of Mathura. Pollution because of SO2 and that reacts with the mud and the pollution is happening. So you can see Syria, destruction of war. So war, terrorism, disturbance, political conflict have destroyed all these heritage places. This is of Syria. Next. And you can see this is also again destroyed by terrorists and Statue of Buddha being destroyed in Afghanistan. Then all these other statues being destroyed. So these are the reasons why the cultural heritage is getting destroyed by day by day. So all these are examples of tourist place which is getting affected. Next. So another important thing I wanted to see because I was in Iraq and Kuwait, so I saw this one. You can see Iraq war and this is Kuwait. They dig the oil exploring places and many of the culture, tradition, and even heritage. Next. So how we can achieve that? The sustainable education, sustainable way of thinking each subject. And what I think, anthropology, history, and all subjects, it should not be a mere subject study or academic study of such subject. It should be given a new term called applied anthropology, applied physics, applied history. So we should apply to preserve the culture. So we have to follow the principles of sustainable development principles made by United Nations. So United Nations is giving a very good importance for sustainability. All this. So now the things are thoughts, hopes, and outlook. What we learn now, what we heard. So next. 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 Okay. Previous. Do you see this one? Which place is this? Students of history, anthropology. Is it in India or somewhere else? Which place in India? Delhi. Are you sure? Delhi. So, so what is happening? You can see the visibility is gone. And this is the old monument structure. And this you can see from somewhere in Punjab, they were able to see the Himalayan ranges during the COVID time. During the lockdown, the pollution was less. And they were seeing after 50 or 60 years. Imagine the visual beauty, the aesthetics, they were missing. But during COVID, they could see. So we had a hard time. But at the same time, some of the positiveness were there. So we have to learn from the positive. But we human beings never learn. That is the saddest thing. We again bounce back. Like a okay. Okay, I will take only 2 minutes now. Next. So we need to take an action against the wildfire, climate change, etc. So let's start right from now. Plastic. Let's abolish the plastic. Use the steel tumblers. We have copper, very good for health. We can use other metal, glass, tumblers. Why don't we carry that instead of plastic bottles? So please leave no carbon footprint, only your footprint. So what is the carbon footprint? You can see all this. So say no to plastic. Very good. Nowadays, plastic is a billion of many of them. So this is one good video. You can see just see this video. So whatever you go back, it will return back. Action and reaction is always there. So think again while you are polluting and think about the climate which cause damage to the environment. So please keep in mind. So any questions, any confusion, anything which you want to ask me? Students? There are two things. If you don't ask me question means you did not understand. Or are you shy? Any questions? Don't worry, it is only one question and then I am going to stop. Otherwise, I will not stop. And students, so is anthropology a victim of climate change? So heritage. So what does heritage mean? Culture. So what is culture? Yeah. Some style. Culture means style, food habit, fashion, way of life, way of medicine, everything. And heritage means which may be touchable or not touchable. Some of the monuments we can touch, but some of the principles we cannot touch. Still, it is a heritage. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, thank you. Stay blessed, stay inspired by nature, spread love, humanity, and peace, and much love. May God bless you all.
Thank you, sir, for the thought-provoking session. It was really very. I now request Raju ma'am, guest lecturer of Department of Anthropology, to give the vote of thanks. Before the vote of thanks, good morning, everyone. So, we are about to bring the meeting to the meeting, sir. Please come to the stage to the microphone. Please applaud.
Okay, I want one picture with the students. I stand here. Come on. Children, smile. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We have a break now, and the competition starts from 2 o'clock.
everyone present here. After lunch, we have technical session here and also competition will be held side by side. So for the competition, the rules and regulations will be announced later after the lunch. Okay, please gather here.